Alright, so Apple is quietly setting the stage for one of the biggest iPhone shakeups we've seen in years, and honestly, this one might split the internet. Because if the leaks are right, the iPhone 18 Pro isn't just another annual refresh. It's Apple rethinking how the iPhone looks, how it shoots video, how it connects to the world, and even how it handles AI. And what's wild is how much of this we already know this early. Let's start with the first thing you'd notice if you picked it up. At a glance, the iPhone 18 Pro won't look radically different from the 17 Pro, but Apple is doing that very Apple thing where the details completely change the vibe. The back is getting a much more unified finish. Right now, Pro iPhones have that slightly industrial two-tone look, where the glass and metal don't quite match. With the 18 Pro, Apple's blending everything together so cleanly that the glass and aluminum almost melt into each other. The whole phone is supposed to feel softer, more friendly, and less tool-like, which honestly makes sense given how bold the current Pro design already is. But here's the part that might surprise you. This thing is getting thicker. Again. For the second year in a row, Apple is adding depth to the Pro model, and that almost always means one thing: battery. The trade-off, though, is weight. According to leaks, the Pro Max could become the heaviest iPhone Apple has ever made. And suddenly, Apple sticking with aluminum instead of titanium makes way more sense. Because at this point, anything heavier would just be too much. Then there are the colors. Apple is reportedly testing 3 very un-Apple-like options: a deep red, a light brown, and a bright purple. We're not getting all 3, but Apple will pick one. And honestly, any of them would completely change how the Pro lineup feels. It's rare to see Apple even experiment this far outside their usual comfort zone. Now let's talk about the display, because this is where things get controversial. The screen sizes stay the same, but the top of the display doesn't. If the leaks are accurate, the dynamic island as we know it is gone. In its place, a single hole-punch camera, sitting in the top left corner. Yeah, that part feels very un-Apple, but there's more going on here than just copying Android phones. Apple is reportedly moving Face ID completely under the display using a new type of micro-transparent glass that lets infrared light pass through without distortion. That alone is a huge technical achievement. And if history tells us anything, Apple rarely makes a hardware change like this without pairing it with a clever software twist. Remember when we all thought the iPhone 14 Pro would just have a weird pill cutout? Then Dynamic Island happened. I'd be shocked if Apple doesn't reinvent the UI again to make this feel intentional. The off-center placement likely isn't random either. The front camera itself is getting a big upgrade, jumping to a 24-megapixel sensor. Bigger sensor means more space, and shifting it to the side frees up room for everything else packed into the middle of the phone. And space is about to become very valuable because the rear cameras are getting serious. The main wide camera is reportedly gaining a variable aperture, something you normally see on high-end DSLR cameras. That means you'll be able to physically control how much light hits the sensor. More control over depth of field, smoother-looking video, better low-light shots, and less reliance on software tricks. On top of that, Apple is said to be using a brand new 3-layer sensor, ironically supplied by Samsung, which should improve dynamic range, reduce noise, and respond faster to light changes. Interestingly, while Apple is making the cameras more advanced, they're also simplifying something else: the camera control button. Right now it supports touch, pressure sensitivity, and clicks, and for a lot of people, it's just annoying. The rumor is that Apple is stripping it back to a simple physical button that launches the camera and takes photos. No accidental swipes, no weird half presses, just a button. Which honestly sounds like Apple admitting they overthought it. And whatever money Apple saves, there might be going straight into connectivity, because this is where the iPhone 18 Pro starts sounding futuristic. Apple is reportedly preparing full satellite internet support, not just emergency SOS, not just to texting. Actual internet access, likely behind a subscription. That would turn your iPhone into a true off-the-grid device, especially useful in rural areas or places where cellular coverage just isn't reliable. At the same time, Apple's modem team is rolling out the C2 modem. Unlike the current C1, this one supports both sub-6 GHz and ultra-fast millimeter wave 5G. And the leaks suggest it could actually outperform Qualcomm's modems while using less power. Which brings us nicely to the chip. The A20 is shaping up to be one of those rare step change upgrades. It's Apple's first 2-nanometer chip, and the leaked numbers are kind of ridiculous. Around 15% better performance and roughly 30% better efficiency. But the most important part might be how Apple is restructuring the chip internally, moving memory closer to the processing components. That reduces latency and makes on-device AI much faster and more responsive. This feels like Apple's M1 moment for iPhone. Not just faster, but fundamentally better at the things modern phones actually care about. And yes, battery life should benefit massively. A thicker phone, a more efficient chip, and Apple already being best in class at battery on the Pro models? That's a scary combination. Now here's the twist. You're not getting all of this at once. Apple is reportedly splitting the iPhone 18 launch. In September 2026, we get the iPhone 18 Pro, Pro Max, and a new Ultra model, which is Apple's high-end foldable. So what exactly is Apple building here? For a long time, there were two competing ideas: a flip-style iPhone that folds vertically, or a book-style foldable that opens into a tablet. Early testing leaned toward the flip, but the latest reports suggest Apple has committed to the book-style design. Think small phone on the outside, iPad mini vibes on the inside. Closed, it's compact and usable with one hand. Open it up and suddenly you've got a mini tablet running iOS. But the most interesting part isn't the size, it's the crease. Because apparently Apple is obsessed with killing it completely. Where Apple might really differentiate itself is the hinge. This is the part that usually defines how good or bad a foldable feels after a year of use. Apple is reportedly using a liquid metal hinge, which is wild. If this hinge is as durable as claimed, it could massively improve long-term reliability and help with that crease reduction too. Then, 6 months later, the regular iPhone 18, a revised iPhone Air, and a cheaper 18e arrive. And when you think about it, that strategy is kind of genius. If you walk into a store during the holiday season and the only new iPhones available are the expensive ones, a lot more people are going to stretch for a Pro, especially when the base iPhone isn't getting many meaningful upgrades anyway. So yeah, it's still early and things can absolutely change, but for the first time in a while, it feels like Apple is genuinely trying to make the iPhone exciting again, instead of just safe. And if even half of this turns out to be true, the iPhone 18 Pro could be one of the most interesting phones Apple has ever made. If you want to stay on top of everything Apple has planned next, make sure you're subscribed, because there's a lot more coming. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.